Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai.
Double honors to the apostles. Salutation, brothers, brothers, in sincerity and truth and charity. All right, we got the brother Miami here with us. You want the Spurs like to win? You got anything you're going to? Keep going next one.
I opened up to Daniel. So I'm gonna read Daniel 7 and I'm gonna read Daniel 7 and I'm gonna start at the top. Fuck it. Spirits like to win. It's Daniel 7:1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given unto it. Which the brother want to grab Daniel's second chapter. You know, this is speaking about the Assyrian Babylonian Empire. Because I'm gonna read verse 4 again. It says the first was like a lion and had eagle's wings, which goes back to the it's a name they call it. A griffin, the water, brother. A griffin, which when you look, is portrayed all throughout the Assyrian Empire. They put it on their temples and their buildings and everything, you know. And it says, I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked when that kingdom was taken down, man. You know, it says, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given unto it. You know, that specific man was Nebuchadnezzar. You know, he was the ruler of Babylon. He's the head of gold, according to Daniel, the second chapter. Brother, on that.
This is Daniel 2:31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form thereof was terrible. The image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. Thou sawest till that the stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, thereof iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Then was the iron and clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together. It became like the chaff and the summer thrashing floors, and the wind carried them away, and no place was found for them, and the stone that smote the image became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the power of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. Wheresoever thou children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand, and have made thee ruler over them all. Thou art this head of gold. All right, so that's the first kingdom, the head of gold, which is the Babylonian kingdom, which is really Nebuchadnezzar. All right,
no, that was the permanent back to the Daniel.
Chapter 4, right?
Yep, or you want to get straight to the point, or it's around 33, 32, I don't know.
This is Daniel 4. I'm going to start at 31, at 30. The king spake and said, is not this great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. They shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar. He was driven from men to eat grass. His oxen and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, till his hairs were brown like eagle's feathers, and his nails like birds' claws. And at the end of the days, I Nebuchadnezzar lifted up my eyes unto heaven, and my understanding returned unto me. And I blessed the Most High, and I praise and honor him that liveth forever, whose dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom is from generation to generation.
And that's Nebuchadnezzar, you know?
The man's heart been back in Daniel 7:4. The first was like a lion that had eagle's wings. I beheld to the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and the man's heart was given to it. That represents Nebuchadnezzar, man. All right, because he got the heart put back in him. He got his understanding put back. Who's that man? That's the kingdom of Babylon, and the Babylonian kingdom, his kingdom, simply put.
Yep.
That's just the first set of things.
And that's the head of gold, you know. This is Luke 21 and 24. It says, it's Luke 21 and 24. It says, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captive into all nations. And it's speaking about the Israelites, speaking about us, right? It says, and Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And that's the head of gold, man. You know, the time of the Gentiles, you know. That's why the brother read Daniel 2, that great stone that was cut, which that stone represents Yahweh Shai, man. You know, it's going to come down and take down all these heathen kingdoms, man. Like we reading in Daniel 7, Lord willing, you know, we'll get to it, you know. But this is the time of the Gentiles that we're reading about. You know, these heathens been ruling for, you know, for a certain amount of time that the Lord gave them to rule. Hey, but now it's Israel's time, man. Everlasting. You know, thou shalt be a world without end, as the scripture says, right? Daniel 7 and verse 5. And if your brothers got precepts, you know, you can let them roll. It's verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it. And this bear represents the Medo-Persian Empire, you know. And it says, yep, that's the next kingdom. It says, in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it, and they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh, you know. And that was the Persian kingdom. You know, and Cyrus got into power by what? Taking over, I believe it was Babylonia. The 3 ribs is Babylonia, Media, and Lydia, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the 3 ribs that was in the mouth, man. You know, that was the beginning of the Persian Empire. Verse 6. After this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it, and you can read the history of these kingdoms within the scriptures, man. You can read the book of Kings, man, for the in Isaiah and Jeremiah. You know, specifically Jeremiah. You know, for the history of the Babylonian kingdom, man, when they came and took us down. You know, the book of Esther, the book of Nehemiah, the book of Ezra speaks about this second kingdom. You know, which is the Medo-Persian kingdom. Now this third kingdom. Verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given unto it, which you can read about the history of this kingdom in the book of Maccabees, man. Because this is the Greek kingdom. That leopard represents Alexander the Greek. And it said he had 4 wings, represents his 4 generals. You know, in First Maccabees, it explains the whole thing, right? Daniel the 8th chapter explains it too. It explains how the Greek kingdom, which is the goat, the he goat, Bible Kushah.
Daniel 8, this is Daniel 8 and 20. Actually, yeah, this is Daniel 8 and 20. Yeah, the ram which thou sawest having 2 horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
Yep.
The king of Grecia, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Yep.
Okay, where is everybody get first Maccabees, John?
I got it right here.
And the rough gold is the king of Grisha, and the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Broken, whereas four stood up for it. For a kingdom shall stand up out of the nation, but not his power. And that's Ptolemy, Seleucid,
Lysimachus, and Cassandra.
Like Cassandra, right? Ptolemy will be the king of the south, and Seleucid will be the king of the north. And we read down, man. Goes to the wars. The Bible gets that accurate to go to these wars, man.
Yeah.
All right.
What's
And
that
then it even goes, yeah, they even get so specific. And Lord willing, hey man, the spirit is on us. The spirit is dead. We'll get it, man. It goes some history. All through the spirit, man. Even to the point where it describes how when the one king would actually make it and conquer partially. And his demise, man, he's gonna turn his head back north, and then that's when he would die. All this is in the scriptures, man. And according to Isaiah 48, this is how you know the Bible is real, man. Because the prophecies that were given, they're fulfilled. It's like, you can't get it. If you don't believe in the Bible, you don't believe in this doctrine, hey, that's to your demise, man.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it's true when Esau put a foot up your ass.
Right.
Secular, yeah.
Hey, you got the Maccabees or the Maccabees?
This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
And they go the he-goat. You know, and the notable horn was what? The first king.
The first king.
And so that was Alexander the Great, taking down the Persian Empire, man. You know?
Ghana, it says the first king over Greece, because prior to him, there was no one central king over all the different city-states of Greece, because they had different regions, and in these different regions, they ruled in their own peculiar ways. Like the Spartans had kings, but the Athenians at times didn't. You know, they all had a different setup, but they would join together to fight against the enemies. But it wasn't until Alexander the Great came and conquered Greece from Macedonia, that's when he became king over that entire region, along with the little islands that are in the Mediterranean.
And also the first Edomite to rule, man. You know? Because hey, what they teach you in our school systems in our times? Civilization started when? With Alexander the fucking Great. And guess what they call him? They call him Alexander the Great. That's how we know him as growing up in school. Civilization started with him, man. That's what they taught me, which is madness, man. You know how many kingdoms and civilizations thrived before this devil?
Hey, the Native Americans were taking showers twice a day. They were cleanly people, man. And the Edomites, when they came on this side of the land, they were thinking that bathing caused diseases to come into your body because it opened your pores, man. That's how retarded Esau is, man. Yet they call themselves civilized, man.
And that's the beginning of Esau getting dominion of the earth. Hey, that's the beginning of your blessing, man. That's the beginning of the due of heaven. Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's why they credit Alexander the Great with the start of civilization, because that's when the Lord gave you the due of heaven, man. That's when you receive this plan. That's when you receive dominion of the whole world, right? Yeah, we're gonna keep reading down until we get to the split of the kingdom.
Okay. Okay. This is verse 2 of First Maccabees chapter 1. And made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth and went through to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Exactly, the earth was quiet, man. Hey, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, man. Hey, the Lord was with this devil when he was conquering and taking down everything, man. The earth was quiet before him. You know?
it has me thinking about Isaiah 14, where it says, "Is this nation that made the earth to tremble, man?" Esau, hey, the earth was quiet before this devil, man. But now we're seeing this kingdom fall, man. The time the Gentiles, have started off, man. The kingdom fell, man. But hey, after every great kingdom fell, what happened, man? Different calamities came on the earth, man. And that's what we're here to tell, man. The prophecies are coming past. Telling you, the history. It's part of it, man. Bringing out hey, this part of revealing the skirt of Esau, man. Telling them, hey, Grecian, you guys are Edomites, man. You guys are all the devils, man. All y'all going to slavery, man. And I'm just hot, man, because hey, this is spirit, man. The spirit of the wind. Hey, man. Hey, this what else we gonna do, man? And time coming, man. Hey, we're about to get we don't even know if we get judged when the Lord comes back, man. That's the thing. Gotta stay in the spirit, man, and just continue to do this thing, man.
Yeah. Hey, it says that, man. It says who knows what he Damn, go ahead, bro. Hey, it's a spirit, man. We're all fearful because we see these prophecies coming to pass, man, and none of us are guaranteed. That's why we doing what we doing, man.
This is Joel 2:13. All right, I'm gonna start at 12. Therefore also now saith the Lord Yahweh, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning. All right, and that's how we should be in this truth, man, always, man. In a state of repentance, man. Repentful state. Right. All right, can't somebody vouch out Psalms 50? Huh?
Look better.
Psalms 50, like, stop.
51. Stop.
Contract spirit.
16. Contract spirit.
Yeah. Psalms 51. We started at 16. But thou desires not sacrifice, those will I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. The sacrifice of Yahweh are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O Yahweh, thou will not despise. Alright, so hey, man, if the Lord already comes to Most High with a meek heart, man, and maybe you give escape, these calamities that are coming, man. Roughly paraphrasing, man. But hey, yeah, Al-Shai even said it, man. He said, kind of worthy that you to escape the things that are coming, man. We don't know who's gonna be sealed or not, man.
Back on Joel, verse 2:13. And rend your heart and not your garments, and turn into Yahweh your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great kindness, and repent to him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent and leave a blessing behind it? Even the meat offering and the drink offering unto the Lord your power. And so you don't know if you elect, man. The Lord can do what the fuck he want to do. You gotta remember that. The Lord can truly do what he want to do. Now he's bound by his word only because of who he set for himself. He can kill us all off if he wants to, man.
This is Jonah chapter 3, I'll start at verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto Jonah the second time, saying, Arise, go unto Nineveh, that great city, and preach unto it the preaching that I bid thee. So Jonah arose and went unto Nineveh, according to the word of the Lord. Now Nineveh was an exceeding great city of 3 days' journey, and Jonah began to enter into the city a day's journey, and he cried and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest of them even to the least of them. For word came unto the king of Nineveh, and he arose from his throne, and he laid his robe from him and covered him with sackcloth and sat in ashes. And he caused it to be proclaimed and published through Nineveh by the decree of the king and his nobles, saying, Let every man, let neither man nor beast herd nor flock taste anything, let them not feed nor drink water, but let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and cry mightily unto God, yea, let them turn every one from his evil way, and from the violence that is in their hands. Who can tell if God will turn and repent, and turn away from his fierce anger, that we perish not? And God saw their works, and that they turned from their evil way, and God repented of the evil that he had said that he would do unto them, and he did it not. So that, that's laying back on the scripture the brother brought out, because we don't know if the Lord's gonna have mercy and he's gonna turn from the wrath that he's proclaimed against us, man, because we really all deserve it, man. It's really only by the mercy of Yahweh Shem Shai that we even have a chance. The Lord's mercies are renewed every morning. Yep.
Yeah, you get back some Maccabees. Yes, sir.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1.
You read the part where it says, the earth was quiet before?
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him.
Right. The earth was quiet before him, which is it echoes the same thing in Daniel 8, the fifth verse. It says, and I was considering, behold, and he-goat came from the west of the face of the whole earth. And when you see a map, you know what I'm saying? Greece is east. I mean, Slack is west of Persia. So they was coming from the west, man, right? It says, and touch not the ground. When it says touch not the ground, man, it wasn't, he wasn't brought down. All the earth was quiet before him, man. And he was taking down all these kingdoms, man. It says, and the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And the brother read the scripture earlier, which explained who that notable horn was. You go back there, brother?
God. Insomuch that the earth was quiet before him, whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up. And he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and the nations and kings who became tributaries unto him.
And he was a major faggot, man. The Spirit had me not too long ago. It was like last week. The Spirit had me watching the Alexander movie. You came and watched it with me. You got a faggot. Major fucking faggot, man. But what you expect from Esau either, man?
Faggot by nature, man.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person, as the scripture says.
The wicked are estranged from the wicked.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right. The lower for the low.
The joke that dogs would. Doing that dog get around Esau, man.
Probably want to fuck him.
That's the whole thing.
That big piece of
Verse 5. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die, wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him.
Right, and then the brother named those servants. Go ahead.
From his youth,
Mm-hmm.
and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
And part of his kingdom among them. Now it was more than 4. So he parted the kingdom, but those 4 was pretty much the victors out of the wars they fought against each other after he died. But that was in on that. So we're gonna jump back to Daniel 7. Now we in verse 7. It says, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And this beast is talking about the Roman Empire. And it said what? It said it was diverse from all the rest. How was it diverse, man? Because they had elected. Can a brother get that in Maccabees if they know where it's at? It says that they have not a king over them. I'll find it. Brothers holding any precepts, y'all can let them roll.
I have Daniel 12th chapter, the 4th verse. The God, old Daniel, showed up the words and sealed the book, even to the time to the end, and we're living the end right now. All right, as many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased, man. So hey, this knowledge that is the increasement is being out to you. Right? That the mysteries that Daniel was, the visions that were being shown to him by the Most High are being known right now, man. Now we know who these beasts are, man. Now we know that the fourth beast was the Roman Empire. That that they had to come and rule the shit, man. That the mystery of iniquity, the mystery of iniquity is already worked. What Paul was talking about, the man of perdition being revealed, man. That's all that's being brought out, man. All right, so you got that precept on Maccabees.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. In Maccabees, it tells you, man, that they didn't have a king set up over them. Pretty much precepting how this kingdom was diverse, because the kingdoms which before it was what, it was patriarchs. It was a hierarchy. The son would take the throne of his father, man. The prince would become king, but in this fourth beast, they would elect their emperors. They would elect their kings. They would elect their leaders. I'm gonna keep reading in verse Daniel 7 and 8. If brothers can find that scripture for me, welcome shut. It's Daniel 7 and 8. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. And this little horn is talking about what, man? It's talking about America. It's talking about this place that comes out of what? Out of the Roman Empire. Can a brother grab Revelations? 13? I believe it's 13, brother. I believe it is. Start at 1. Yes, sir.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. Verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
And what's like unto the leopard? What the leopard represent, man? It goes back to Daniel 7, what we just read. The Greeks. And read that part again.
It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Why did the name leopard first? Because that's the beginning of your power. Right? That's when you receive dominion. Right? Bro?
Like brother said, it go right back to that first Maccabees.
That's right. That's right.
It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were like were as the feet of a bear.
And what the feet of the bear represents, the feet is the end. Russia is your end, man. According to Ezekiel the 38th chapter. Lord gonna put those jaws, man, in Gog and Magog, man. Go ahead, brother.
And his mouth as the mouth of a lion.
And his mouth is the mouth of a lion. Lion represents the power seat, man. And where do you get your power from, man? Hey, that comes from England. That's the one of the unclean frogs, man. The 3 city-states, DC, Rome, and London. And London happens to be what? The financial capital, man. Rome is the spiritual, and America is the muscle, man. The army. But the financial is what pushes everything, man. You based out of Europe, man. That's your power. The lion represents power, man. So that's where it comes from, because that's who America comes out of, man. And Jeremiah is thy mother shall be ashamed of thee. Who is thy mother? Go ahead in that Revelation, brother.
And the dragon gave his power and his seat and great authority.
Keep going.
And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death.
And what head was that? That was the Roman Empire, man. That goes to Romans, not Romans, that goes to Revelation, the 20th chapter. When what happened? When that angel put the seal upon the devil, man, that he couldn't deceive. And that goes back to Job, the 30th chapter, when the brother quoted. That's when you was chasing to the Caucasus Mountains, man. That's the so-called Dark Ages. You know? That's when that wound was, that head was wounded, as it was to death. You know? It's talking about the Roman Empire, right? Keep going, bro.
It says, and I saw his head as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed.
And his deadly wound was healed. How was it healed, man? The Treaty of Rome. The Treaty of Rome. All you got to do is Google the Treaty of Rome, man. You know? Go ahead, brother.
And all the world wondered after the beast.
And all the world wondered after the beast. So you found that precept, though? We're going to jump to this precept. We're going to jump back to that.
And First Maccabees 8, I'm just going to start at 12. Says, but with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amenity, that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, and so much as all that heard of their name were afraid of them. Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reigned, and whom again they would displace. Finally they were greatly exalted. Yet for all this, none of them wore a crown or was cloth and purple to be magnified thereby.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, how they had made for themselves a senate house, wherein 320 men sat in council daily, consulting all way for the people, to the end that they might be well ordered,
Mm-hmm.
and that they commit their government to one man every year, who rules over all their country, and that all were obedient to that one, that there was neither envy nor emulation among them.
And that's what made it diverse, man. You know, the Roman Empire, the pagan Roman Empire. You know, so now the deadly wound was healed. That's that little horn. That's America. You know.
Same setting.
That's right. That's right.
Democrats, Republicans. They had plebeians and
Patricia.
Same thing, man.
Yep. Yes, sir. Go ahead, bro.
Back in the Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast?
Right, and that's what people say now. Who is like to America and its allies? That's the beast. The EU and NATO, man. The Edomite system. That's what that is, man. Who can make war with the beast, man? That's what they say. Shoot, we even got motherfuckers on the line that still scoff at the side. What? Russia won't defeat America. I wish they would go. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit, man. Where, bro?
Who was able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things. And
Didn't it say in Daniel? What it said in Daniel? It said what? Back in Daniel 7 and the last part of 8, it says, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. It's the same thing, man. The blasphemies, the proud speakings of Esau Edom, man. I did a lesson earlier today, man. I was vexed, man. I was vexed as fuck, man. The older brother Yashawamba had re-uploaded a video of Jason 8. And in this video, you got these goddamn devils just talking back and, well, yeah, no, we're gonna pretty much, because now they able to. It was some madness with embryos, you know. They was bragging about how, well, yeah, soon you're gonna be able to look at a catalog and decide what features your baby want, you know. Talking about, oh, we're controlling evolution, which is madness, man. Then the two Edomites sitting there talking, and then he was explaining what the main Edomite was explaining to the dude. He was like, yeah, we can find the different errors that was made. Error, man. Y'all don't make no errors, man.
That's right.
And that goes back to the mouth speaking great things, man. The pride of this goddamn devil, man. For this goddamn devil to tell a little boy, oh yeah, you a little boy in your body, but in your mind it's a little girl, so feel free to do what you want. That's madness, man. Y'all made that nigga, man.
I seen some lady was talking about you shouldn't name your kid yet because you're giving him the child agenda, you know, because you gotta let them grow up to decide what they want to be.
It's bullshit, man, because it's parents who teach children, man. Okay, children don't decide shit, man. The scriptures say childhood and the youth is vanity. Okay, and you're supposed to train up a child in the way that he shall go, man.
And that's the point.
Fucking madness, man. The Most High created them male and female. That's bottom line. Right? Bottom fucking line, man. The Most High knew what he was doing when he created man. The scriptures talk about how in that book all my members are written, man. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Like Esau is just the devil, man. He exalted himself above all that is called the Most High, and that is worship, man. That's why you gotta get the fuck out the way. You ain't fit. You ain't fit.
Right. It's Psalm 17 and 10. They are enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth, they speak proudly. It's Esau, man. They got the whole world in their hands. You know what I'm saying?
They started at verse 9, like I had this same precept. So show us the wicked, man.
All right, Psalm 17 and 9. It says, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. They're enclosed in their own fat. With their mouth, they speak proudly.
Like Psalms 50 say, man, they cast the word Lord behind them, man. They speak and make a doctrine and a law against everything in the Bible, man. There's great war against the Most High. They speak evil against the Most High, man. And think to guard the saints.
Yeah, they got this new thing called trans age, where grown ass men could change their age. Not only their age, but their gender. So you got 40-year-old men changing themselves to little ass girls, man. And you got other Edomites family get down with that, man. So here it's a whole family with a grown ass man playing the role of a little girl and acting as a little girl, man. You know, and the family's with it, man. Buying all their shit, like if he was a little girl wearing a fucking weave, it's madness.
With Pampers on and shit.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man.
The one I saw, he was like a 9-year-old, man.
In a dress, pigtails,
yeah,
like a little kid off a coloring book, or
talking like a little girl, man.
Nah, it's when I seen a grown ass man like you come be a baby. You got dress as a baby and act like a baby and shit.
People come change them.
Yeah, that's madness, man. You got motherfuckers that want to live life as dogs and shit.
Trans species.
Right. Yeah.
You got trans species motherfuckers.
That's like a whole show off there.
Esau fucking weird.
He's a backward man. That's why the scripture calls him the basest man. He's a base man. He's the worst possible person that could be created in this world, man. And he's gonna go contrary to the creator, man. Obviously someone created us, and you're gonna go up against him, man. Oh, that's not right. The Lord messed it up when he did that. That's you devils, man. You Edomite, you so-called white people, man. And you're not white, man. You're red. So white means purity, man. You guys are far from it.
That's right.
Pure wicked.
Yeah, God.
And that goes to some red shield, man. The Rothschild, man.
I got a scripture real quick to prove that what the lawyer said, you know, from the kid, the parents are supposed to educate the kids, you know, not the other way around, you know. There's 2 Maccabees 7:27, but she bound herself towards him, laughed the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner: "O my son, have pity upon me that buried these 9 months in my womb, and gave thee suck 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up to this age, and endured the troubles of education." That's what it is, man. You know, parents, they're supposed to endure the troubles of education when they're little kids. Because when you're a kid, you don't know nothing. You know, but Esau, now he wants to throw all that away and say, oh, you could, you know, you be a free spirit. Whatever you want to do, whatever wickedness comes into your head, follow that. that's corrupt, man. That's a corrupt way of thinking.
But Esau knows, he knows that that's if the woman, elevate the woman above the man, man. The scripture says, the blessing of the father established order, but wicked women ruined our foundation, man. That's what guys as kids, growing up, whatever Esau says, because the woman he co-signed it.
Right. And, and if I can say, Esau is such a hypocrite. He says, he fights for inclusivity to include everybody. He says, respect everybody's opinion. But that's not even the case, man. What about polygamy then? Why are you guys fighting up against polygamy, but you guys are allowing pedophilia to go on, man? That shows how much of a hypocrite you are, man. You guys have a hidden agenda. Really, you guys are for everything that's contrary to the scriptures. That's what you guys are for, man.
And Esau pushed polygamy through rappers, man. All that bitches and shit, all that bullshit, man. But then, they want it's all fucked up, man. This bill gotta go, man.
As soon as a doctrine is brought up that aligns with the scriptures, you're against that, man. But I thought you accepted everybody. I thought you guys were open to everybody's beliefs. Only if it benefits us. Only if it's wickedness, man.
And that goes back to the mouth speaking great things, man. We jump back to that Revelation.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things. You read verse 10, right? 17, you read chapter 17.
No, not yet.
Verse 5 again says, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things, and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven.
Right.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
Right, because he's blaspheming Yahweh Shem Shai, because everything that he pushes out about the Lord is complete lies, man. First of all, they got our Lord and Savior as a so-called white man, when the scriptures clearly tell you that he was a dark complected man. They got the angels being all effeminate. They got the angels being as little babies with diapers and wings. That's complete. That's a complete bold-faced lie, man.
And it goes back to the beast being healed, man. When Esau came back to the fire, they started painting faces of judges, man.
And says that they speak against his saints, because now that we're bringing out what's really in the scriptures, what's the real will of Yahweh Shem Shai, they want to censor it. They want to shut down YouTube pages. They want to not bring out the whole truth of how many likes and how many views a video has. They want to hide our videos when all we're doing is preaching what's in the scriptures. And they speak against us, man. Calling us terrorists. Or calling us radicals. The black Hebrew Israelites. Hey, according to the world, you wouldn't consider me black. But here I am speaking the word Yahweh Shem Shai, man. So what are you guys talking about?
I had a whole thing called Brown Hebrew. It's a lot.
You read that verse again, bro.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power.
Read verse 6 again.
This is Revelation 13:6. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven.
Right. This is Psalm 73. Almost 33. So brothers can know what it's speaking of. It says, "For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." And the foolish is talking about Esau Edom, man. It said what they were children of base men, children of fools, man. It says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. And that's Esau Edom, man. You know, there's no bands in his death, and his strength is firm, man. He passes wealth down to his little ones, man. You know?
Trust me.
It says, they are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasseth them about as a chain, violence covereth them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. And that's talking about the wicked, man. That's talking about Esau.
Who else could it be? It's against the law to be homeless at some state, like the motherfuckers outside the streets. They can't even be out there. Like, God damn.
So, what he's supposed to do? Where he's supposed to go? He
No,
homeless.
the fuck?
I don't care.
That's just a people with no mercy, man. That has to be the fucking devil.
Yep. Verse 9.
Hey, another proof, the Lord, the fact they don't take care of their army. They're veterans.
Yeah.
They don't pay their veterans.
Yeah, that's the scripture.
A man of war to suffer poverty.
There was that veteran who became self-sustained. He wasn't buying city utilities. He was self-sufficient. He was purifying his own water. He had his own generator, and they deemed his household not suitable to live, and they kicked him out of his own house, man. They said if he returned unto his own house, he would be arrested. But he was a veteran too.
And he was a Edomite.
Yeah, and he was the Edomite. So, hey, man, the prophecies and the characteristics of this evil man only falls on you so-called white people, man.
That's
Edom.
the devil, man.
Yeah.
And you said dude was Edomite too. Hey, well, the scripture said, man. It says in him that is equal.
So, only be good to you.
But motherfuckers expect this devil to be good, though. He can be saved.
Change gonna come.
Can't try his damn self.
Right. This is verse 9 in Psalm 73. It says, they set their mouth against the heavens, and it said they blaspheme the Most High, his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven, right? They set their mouth against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth. And that's Esau. Man, I'm gonna keep reading. Therefore his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out of them. And they say, how doeth the Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches, man.
There you go. Esau was the rich people. The sitting in those fake Jews. They're the wicked. I mean, there's so many angles to come at that, man. They're the wicked.
And is there knowledge in the Most High?
Right.
They basically said, hey, like it says, the turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as potter's clay. Shall the thing that formed say against him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Or thou hast had no understanding? You know?
Right. I mean, I was born wrong. I'm a woman trapped in a man's body.
Right.
That's the spirit that Esau pumped off there as the king did, so to speak. So somebody said, multiple people saying that his kingdom is representation of the king, man.
Yep.
That's how they are, man. They turned everything upside down. That's spirit of idolatry, man. Changing their kind, like it says in Deuteronomy 14.
Like that's why they had their Big Bang Theory and their evolution. No, how the Lord explained it, that couldn't be right.
Yeah.
No, we got a better explanation of how it came about.
I got appreciate
Hey, because I believe it's in Job, if I'm not mistaken. But it says that the Most High is not in none of the. It might be in Psalms. It's one, I know it's one in Psalms, but the one in Job, I'm thinking of. They say, "Depart from me, because we desire not to know thy ways." That's a part of it. That's why they make up the Big Bang, and that's why they make all this madness, man. Because they desire not the ways of Yahweh, Yahweh. Oh,
Of course, Psalms 50:16. But unto the wicked, the Most High said, "What has thou come about Malachi 1:4? But unto the wicked, the Most High said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or if thou shouldst take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction and cast thy word behind thee." So look, that's Esau Edom, that's the wicked, man. What they declared the Bible is the law of the land. All right, but they make everything against the Bible and put in the actual laws and enforce All right, they actually enforce everything that's contrary to the Bible. All right, when thou Saul was a thief, then thou considers with him, has been partaken with adulterers, man. Thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frame deceit. That's what they fuck, the Big Bang Theory. All right, evolution. We come from monkeys. That's madness, man.
Yep.
Well, why the rest of these dumbass monkeys ain't learn how to talk and shit? That's what, right?
God.
No, that ain't the case, man. Monkey is a monkey, man. It has its own set of wisdom, gives us the Lord to be that monkey.
Right. And then they want to say that the world is like a million years old, and they base that on carbon dating. When even carbon dating has been proven to be
Inaccurate.
Inaccurate, yeah.
Highly inaccurate.
highly inaccurate.
Because the amount of carbon builds up underground, especially now because of all the pollution and shit. All that carbon is built up, man. Carbon dating is only accurate. They tell you it's only accurate up to 15,000 years, 20,000 years. Which, of course, that's as far as the Earth fucking goes.
Right.
Assholes.
Yeah, but yet they still push it as truth. They're emboldened. That's why people eat it up, because they're so prideful when they do it. Like, yeah, it's true.
Right. Just like we can find out about the dinosaurs, how they designed them ain't necessarily real, because they had the dino war, Martian code. They was racing against each other to be the man. So they was making up designs and shit, putting bones together, how they fucking felt. And that's how,
T-Rex,
right.
low ass arms and shit.
Exactly. They was putting you together, man. And people, you can look this shit up, but they don't want to change it, because they already got the people used to it, man. Right, there goes Revelation 20, man. He's the devil that came out to deceive the whole world. All right? Verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil and thy tongue frame of deceit. All right, he's the devil, the wicked, man. Devil means deceiver. These things says thou, Slacker. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thy slanderest thy own mother's son. And Esau was our twin brother, man. And I said, you have a great warfare against us and against the Most High, man, because we're his children. All right, that again, they should change times and the Most High's laws. All right, to try to guard the saints, man.
I got a precept for you that the brother quoted. It's Job chapter 21, verse 14. Therefore they say unto God, depart from us, for we desire not the knowledge of thy ways. What is the Almighty that we should serve him? And what profit shall we have if we pray unto him?
And that's their mindset, man. You know, but a heathen can be saved. Fuck out of here, man.
Some Edomites are going to be saved, according to GOCC. That shows you they don't have the truth. The truth says that, I'm going to chop the shit out of it, but it says, you know, to show you know, kindness, favor to the wicked, he will yet not do righteousness. Even in the land of the just, you know, he wouldn't do righteousness. So how are we going to have him in the land, you know, everything's all righteous, we just got the base ass man over here.
We're trying to plot on this, we're thinking, trying to figure out a weapon and do something. We're trying to, it'd be real life like Bro one in the coyote, man. In real life, every day trying to catch it, man. Going to act, trying to catch it somehow. It gotta be something.
Because it tells us in Sirach to never trust thy enemy. And it says, set him not by thee. You know what I'm saying? Unless he overtake thee and sit in thy seat. That's Esau. Yeah, I get it. It's the same motive. He's going to continue to do that. He's going to. That's him, man.
He doesn't know any other way.
He has to be destroyed. He was made for destruction.
That's what Romans said.
But you wanted that Malachi?
Malachi 1:3.
One.
Malachi 1:3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said,
proves that he's the red dragon in Revelation. All right, the old serpent, the devil. That and in Job 30 and 29. And we're reading about Esau his kingdoms. Because in that Revelation, I believe it's the 13th chapter, when it mentions the leopard, we're talking about the last king of Babylon, the last kingdom, which is Mystery Babylon, man. According to the Bible, I think it's Psalms 137. And then Joel the 3rd chapter, show Israel was sold to. But
37.
137. No,
Seven.
that was it.
Psalms 137 and 7. Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom, in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed.
That's the last kingdom. Mystery, daughter of Babylon, man. Esau Edom. All right, the daughter of Babylon, man. Spiritual Babylon, it's like Revelation 11:8. Spiritual Egypt. Spiritual Sodom.
Right, because that Psalms 137 goes back to Obadiah, them being destroyed, the house being stolen and being destroyed. No house, the house should be no more left, no remaining of the house, man. So hey, just know that Edom, Babylon is Edom, man.
Come. That's that last kingdom, man. That face, that image of the leopard, man. Greece. Esau Edom, man. The last kingdom of rule, Babylon, man. All right, this is his whole system right here. The system of the Senate. All right, the system of the main that he put out there, the system of the money. This is all Esau Edom system, man. And it's coming to an end. All these things designed to that keeps us in oppression. All right, to help get the nations to drink out their cups. All this is Esau Edom in his system, man. That mentioned in Revelation, and that's what's been destroyed. Bible show, you hit that Joel 3, that showed to the Grecian. That's Joel 3.
Okay. Yeah. This is Joel 3:6. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians, that ye might remove them far from their border.
So that's where we at. And we've been sold to the Grecians. The image of the leopard. All right? This Roman system that's set back up. All right? With the 10 toes, man. In the EU. All that's back into play, man. All right, them same nations. France, Spain, Britain, Germany. All right?
Rome, of course.
Right. Of course, Rome, kind. All those, that's the same ruling powers again, man. The same European nations.
I think we get that. The
17:10.
Oh, sure.
This is Revelation 17. And I'm gonna start at 5. I'm gonna start up. I'm gonna start at 1. Revelation 17:1. There came one of the 7 angels who had the 7 vials, talking to me, saying unto me, come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
Mm-hmm. Which we know the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. You know, what it says she was clothed in purple and fine linen. And that whore is America, man. It was on her forehead written Mystery Babylon. You know, it's America. That's what we're speaking of. That little horn that came out in Daniel 7. You know?
It said about sit upon many waters, man. That's we saw him keeping us to the all nations.
Right, we would keep it at home.
We keep it at home, right?
For whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of fornication, which goes back to Esau Edom and coming out the Caucasus Mountains, deceiving the whole world. All right, first getting them on this democracy, and getting them on that fiat, man, paper currency, via the IMF, International Monetary Fund, man. All right, they all have drunk in that cup. All right, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, which goes back to that red. Something about that color red, man. It goes right back to Esau Edom. That red horse, which given the power of the sword, which is the same blessing of Esau, that red man. All right, which is a mark, a curse of leprosy, which is put upon Cain.
He eats red pottage, red meat.
That red
raw red meat, man.
Right, raw red meat.
This whole fiction, they ask him how you want your steak. Bloody as hell.
Exactly.
Juicy.
Esau, man.
The red dragon, that old serpent. Serpent, you know, he means red.
Yes. Yes.
He was the only one without color, man. Process of elimination, man. Esau.
God,
This is blood. Right.
that's right. Right. So he carries. That's the mark of showing of sin, like guilty. According to Isaiah, first chapter. When you read just some of the road, he says, man, but compare spiritual things, man. The scarlet letter. There was a red letter placed upon for her sin, man. That's the mark. I mean, shit.
Called red-handed.
Right. Called crime. The word crime and criminal.
Right.
It's
Crimson.
red. Crimson.
And the only one being eliminated by process is the one that's speaking proudly, man.
The red net. The peckerwood. It was named after the red fucking woodpecker down in Alabama, man.
Right.
The red devil, man. So you know this people.
There's no way around it.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color.
And you want to know what's crazy? The spirit's so cold, right? Can you read that scripture again?
I'm gonna start at verse 4.
Where it says 7 heads and 10 horns?
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. That names of blasphemy goes right into that great mountain that war speaking against the Lord, man. What is his kingdom built off of, man? When you go down to DC, when you look at it from above, it's all shaped into like a pentagram, man. Shaped into a pentagram. All this shit is based off of Masonic orders and shit, man. Even George Washington, this country's so-called first president, did holds on the Masonic floor with the Mason arm on.
Yep.
This place is built off witchcraft. It's the mother of witchcraft.
Yeah, and it's known. Like
Right,
it is known. They teach it in
It's on
school.
the back of the money.
Yeah, they teach it in school that George Washington, Jefferson, fucking Franklin. You know what I'm saying? Adams. You know what I'm saying? They were Freemasons. We learned that in school. You know.
If I can make a real quick point, the whole time, you know, the short time I've been here, you know, with the Akim, when we go out there and preach, the only nation of people that walk by when they see us preaching out the Bible, the only nation of people that put out the horns, they throw out the Baphomet sign, it's only so-called white people, man. I've only seen them do it, man. You know,
that's only I witnessed as well.
You know, they see us reading the scriptures, and what do? They throw up the horns and they throw up the Baphomet. You know,
They acknowledge it, Joe.
exactly through the spirit.
That little retarded little white bitch, she kept walking out with it. She just kept throwing it up on the shelf.
Yeah.
She was retarded, which means she's rightful with demons. She just kept doing it. She can't talk, dumb bitch. Can't do shit. She kept talking and shit.
She came back twice, right?
She came back a few times, but retarded couple things.
Yeah. Bro, that shows a demon in there, man.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
No, that's true, right?
They're the only people that do that, man, because they're really the devil, man. The devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Hey, this bitch crippled from like the neck down, only able to move her wrist. Oh, just to do, bro. I want to be. I claim that little.
Right, that's your slave, bro. Be
Wow,
there.
that's all she could do. What she do is she goes up the Baphomet.
Bro, that's all you. That's it.
Hey, but that's the spirit, right? Because when it says 7 heads and 10 horns, the spirit brought to my memory. I wanted to go. Revelation 17 is one of my lessons I wanted to do. It's crazy. That's the spirit, though. That's the spirit. So, because I already had the notes, everything, right? Now the 7 heads. You know, I'm gonna say the 7 heads later, so we can get into the 5 of Paul. You know what I'm saying when we get to it. But the 10 horns, you know, it is these areas. You know what I'm saying that were in the ancient world, and today is the same areas today, right? The 10 horns is Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Ireland, England, and West Germany. Right? You know, which the same areas today. Esau controls those areas.
Right. Simply put, the EU.
The EU. Because the original EU when they were created, man, was flowing with 10 flags, even though there was 6 original countries. You know, those 4 countries was added years later. Why is it 10 flags flying out? Hey, because y'all shot, hey, his word will not go back void, man. You know, devils don't even know why they put 10 flags out there. They put 10 flags out there.
Other countries stuff.
You know.
But it's through the spirit.
Yeah. That's what I was.
Yeah, they added more.
Well, for the sake of some assholes scoffing.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
we understand physically what you assholes see, but spiritually the prophecy's got to be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
It goes.
Yep. And now what, man? You know, they just added more countries to it. That's it. And what the original the EU flag.
So they're wrong, man. Well, countries in them, they conquered every goddamn body.
Yep. And the EU flag got what, 12 stars on it. But 2 of those you might as well just say, because one of those stars represents Ireland. Ireland is a part of England, so you could erase that. And one of those stars represents Portugal, and Portugal is a part of Spain, so you could erase that, man. That goes back to 10. You know. Hey, you niggas, some whole ass niggas scoffing the apostles' hill is a great millstone, man. I wouldn't know none of this, bro. Wasn't for my teachers, man. And through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. It's like it.
This is back in Revelation 17 and 3. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
Mm-hmm.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, which goes to that wicked man. As the brother read, the wicked that lived without care. All right. And this proves that the rich man in Luke, all right, is so-called white man, not the fucking Pharisees.
Gold and purple.
And decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in hand full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. All right, and that's everybody getting on America's democracy.
Yep.
Even Iran, they scoff at motherfucking America, but Ahmadinejad, ain't he the president of motherfucking Iran?
But motherfuckers got McDonald's.
Don't he wear suit and tie shit?
Right.
And he's still in there with who? The feet of the whole beast, man. The bear. It's that whole Esau system, man. It's all hand in hand. You just because dealing with this devil, ain't no such thing as the lesser devil. No, the devil is a devil, man.
Mm-hmm.
They just divided.
Yeah. Like you said, hey, those goddamn Russians, they eat the mice too. They devils too, man.
Jumping back a chapter is Revelations 18 and 3 says, for all nations have drunken of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxing rich through the abundance of her places.
And there you go. That's how everybody got, why everybody drinking that fornication, man. Because what? Esau's the devil. And there you go. Esau's the devil. And what would that mean? He's the root of sin. The root of all, the love of money is the root of all evil. If he's the root of sin, that's what he has to control. Money, man. You got everybody on that shit, man. Can you talk about Matthew 2 real quick?
I got it. Matthew 2 and what?
5.
This is Habakkuk 2. Yeah, Habakkuk 2. Chapter.
And the fact that on the back of this dollar bill, which the international currency, all this witchcraft's on the back of the front and back of the dollar. You got the owl of Molech. You got the all-seeing eye, the eye of horrors of Ra, whichever fucking asshole false god it is. You got all this Egyptian shit on the back, man. All this spider web and stuff on the front and back.
Mm-hmm.
All this witchcraft on this money. This is the bomb. Hey, that's the start. All right, it's the root of all evil, man. It's the start of them drinking in the cup of wrath and fornication, man. Them willing to give up everything, or to give up their way of life, to even get a democracy in that, so they can get some of those delicacies, some of those riches. What's the brother read in Revelation 18, man?
And man, like I say, that further proves that the chip is the mark of the beast, man. Because they're trying to implement the money system into that chip.
Well, that's the thing.
That's what
That's how they trying to get people on board. These other countries on board. with the cryptocurrency, digital currency. I was reading an article today, which is funny now. It's a spirit, that works out. And they were going into the cryptocurrency is the best way to escape the risk of all the hyperinflation that comes along with the dollar deal. And when I say dollar, I mean all paper currency. All right, because what is a system of debt? So guess what happens? Inflation's gonna happen. Until people overprint money, it's gonna happen. They trying to compensate to pay back the loan, man. But you can't pay it back. If you invent money and you loan me $1, and I gotta pay you back $3, what if I figure $2 other from? You only gave me $1. I always owe you. The only option is to print my money, so I can at least keep going back and forth with you. Till eventually I'm gonna get tired of it, and now I'm fucked.
And that printing of that more money got more debt on it.
Exactly.
So it's debt on debt.
So now you're right. You give me $1, owe you $3. All right, let me get $2 more. Let me get $3. All right, okay, here you go. But now I owe you $6.
Right.
Give me $3. Give me those extra $4 so I can pay that $6. I owe you $12. Fuck it, you know what? I owe you $12. Just give me $50. Let me play with that and circulate that and do whatever. I take this land. Take all this gold. Take all my people's social security numbers. Here you go. You own them too. Everything is yours.
Right. Only a devil would do that, man.
Well, come back to it.
A deceiver, yeah.
Got it.
This is Habakkuk 2:4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him.
It's not upright.
It's not upright.
But the just shall live by faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death.
You said transgressions by wine. And that Revelation 17:4 said what, man? Having that golden cup in her hand. All right, but if you drink of that wine, it says death, man. You will die, man. It's the ways that lead to death, like it says in Proverbs 5, man. If I'm mistaken, maybe Proverbs 7, it's both. All right, is it both? The false doctrine of the Lord.
Oh yeah,
The ignorant of his death, man.
shit is total places.
God, the ignorant of his death. All right, that's how they get these people. Yeah, you can get rich like America. They fuck all these propaganda people in different countries. Should they show us and should they show them? They showed them some of the same shit, but they show them additional stuff that makes America look greater than what it is. So these people want that same opportunity, man, to be part of the American dream. So they give up their own rights, man. They give up their power to this whore. Hopes to be next. Hopes to get a piece of that pie. So they drink that wine, man.
My dad's gonna take the shit, man.
Well, they already on board. That ain't that. They in that bowl with it, man. They already drunk off that juice, man.
They in that big.
Well, the thing is, when it says they're trust in the laying upon Egypt,
That's it, 36.
that right, this is the broken reed. I mean, that's talking about to Israel, man, but the whole world leaning upon that staff. That chip is covered, man. Go ahead, slap.
Yeah, you know, these Uncle Tom Coon from the nation of Israel, so-called Black Native Americans that are making good money over here. They're like, oh, you can keep all your money, you know, you just gotta take this chip, transfer all your funds onto this chip, man.
It's safer. That's new to the company. It's safer.
Mm-hmm.
But this ain't you saw double. The same article they saying it's safer. We can avoid the hyperinflation because it's a set amount. It's like gold. This is what they basically saying. It's digital gold. Now the fact that it's digital means it doesn't exist, so it's nowhere near gold. Gold exists.
Right.
But they say it's like digital gold because you can't increase it. With money, you can keep printing money. But with this, it's a set number. I think it's 21 something Bitcoin, 21 maybe trillion or whatever they're in that. Such and such amount, whatever, such and such amount. And you can't make more. So you won't have an inflation problem. You won't have the problems of your dollar crashing. You won't have those wheelbarrow problems. You have to take the whole wheelbarrow to turn the money to get one loaf of bread. Because it's just like gold. It's digital gold. This is what they tell these people. It's digital gold. The market of is current, man. The people are already setting sold on it.
Yeah, if I can say something, man, you know, and that's why you guys are gonna take it, man, because you guys are so sold on Esau's system, and you want to fight so much to be a part of it, you know, be a part of this devil. and rejecting the ways that Yahweh Shem Yahushua is telling us to live, that's why you're going to get destroyed. That's why taking the marks is going to be such a harsh penalty, man. Because you're basically you're saying, all right, I accept Esau and his system as being the ruling law.
As God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you rather trust
That's what it is.
Esau instead of letting your trust in Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
That's exactly.
I mean, the scriptures got it right here. But behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. Okay, so part of their wickedness and not being upright is that whole money system and they whole bullshit that they spreading throughout the planet, man. Okay, that they want everybody to trust in. You know, the wine that they transgress by, the pride. I mean, everything, man. Okay, but the just shall live by faith, man. Lord, when we be the just men, we ain't gonna have no part in Esau's system, man. We're not gonna be defiled with their idols, man. You know, and we just gonna hope and trust on Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and he's gonna be the one to take care of us, man. That's for these other people that trust in Esau and his system, they shall receive plagues, man. That's what they deserve, man. They commit great idolatry, man. Great idolatry against the Most High, man. That's really what it is. That's why it's called the image of the beast. Okay, image. What's the word? Idol means image. Okay, it all goes back to idolatry, man. That's why Kai's stigma. Okay, stigma, a prick. Okay, that's how the slaves in the ancient world used to mark which master they belong to, or which general they belong to. Okay, or which colonel they belong to, or which idol they worship. They would prick themselves, and that certain prick or emblem or tattoo would have the inscription of their God, man.
That's what they do with cows.
Exactly.
With cows and cattle, they brand them, put a mark on them to show ownership.
That's right. Stake on it.
Jake does that with the.
Omega and shit.
Yeah.
Fraternities and shit.
And that's what Esau is getting ready to do to the people, so that he can stand even more proudly, more than he is, and say, "Oh yeah, all these people are mine. They're under my rulership.
Okay.
They're under my
Is
control."
it Genesis 15? But I'm gonna get that real quick. Can you keep reading that Habakkuk?
Sure.
Money failed in Egypt. Wow.
God.
Money fell in Egypt. Should be. I know what it says.
But you want this is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as the grave, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all people.
Right, which goes back to that Revelation 17. That's the word sit upon many waters. All right, we need to keep it at home. America got an iron base every fucking way. America has his hands, or let me say Esau even. Right, even though America too, but Esau even has his hands in every fucking country, man. In every country's government, Esau even set up puppet leaders, got full control over shit. Okay? And that includes Iran, man, they in league with Russia. It don't fucking matter. Whether you with Gog and Magog or you with the whore of Babylon, man, you still part of that beast. At the end of the day, is not Russia part of NATO? Right?
Russia not part of that.
Down there, but then they have a fucking agreement. They finally do the agreement?
I'm not sure. I know they was never part of NATO.
No, but they have. I'm just following the rules, but
Then y'all go back to they go to Egypt. Russia think they're up next. So, you don't got to trick there. They all agree. I think I said probably you, but they agree with them at least. I got a precept real quick, barbershop. This Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not. Like the brother was saying, like America got a military base everywhere. All that is about is war, lies and stealing, man. Jump down to verse 4. Because of the multitudes of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms, the families through her witchcraft. So everything America do is based upon witchcraft. That's just rebellious spirit that they're pushing. Like the brothers are going into, cause other nations to drink their cup making them go off. Hey, the Most High let you know that so-called America is a bloody sea, man. And these are the abominations and witchcraft they continue to do.
Yes, like they got them in 2014. Shit, looks definitely in the jaw. Shit.
But does Russia have a central bank? Are they connected to
I mean, it's still, it's still all the same, but they, at one point they had better terms with it. Foreign minister, they just said something about it. It ain't gonna happen. It's getting worse for them. By the way, Turkey sent drones into Syria. Turkey sent fighters, warfighter flights into Syria today. But can you read the declaration?
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that laid
And who's doing that? Who the fuck over there in Iraq, Afghanistan, Pakistan? You know what I'm saying? Just Syria, just going fucking crazy. When Korea,
just
you know what I'm saying? That's everywhere,
Taking
man.
everything, man. Michael too, man. All right, you take it by force. Take it by force. And what does he do to appease you? Give you money. What does you paying? Bond the fuck out of him. Build the economy up. So either, hey, like state property, you're gonna get down later on season. Those nations that get on board, they take the least amount of casualties up front. But then everybody gonna take casualties, man. But since y'all get appeased by this money, y'all get appeased by that claim, which means debt. That IMF, man. This is what happens. You get up more with that money. This is spiritual Egypt. Going to Revelation 11. Go ahead.
This Genesis 47 in verse 15. It says, and when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth.
Because prior to that, Egypt wasn't great. It basically was different provinces. At this point, Pharaoh, at this point, Pharaoh didn't have all the power.
Right.
There were different city-states, basically, man. This is how Pharaoh got his power right here. With the wisdom of Joseph. All right? Hey, so Orange and Rocky, you start taking the things on the right hand and make your left hand side, man. The principal things that use to the man's life. So the wicked are they turned to make evil. Okay? He start took our book and did wickedness for it, man. That's it. God has shown the book in one by ways. Okay?
In verse 16, and Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for your cattle if money fails.
So that's the start of it. Well, get on this dollar. Let us control these resources. We're gonna put a garrison in your land. Let us get control of these resources. All right. Let us get this. Go ahead.
And they brought their cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle with the herds.
So it's a business, so to say. Let's go like that. Capital life, sustainable.
And for the asses, and he fed them with bread for all their cattle for that year. When that year was ended, they came unto him the second year and said unto him, we will not hide it from my lord, how that our money is spent. My lord also had our herds of cattle. There is not aught left in the sight of my lord, but our bodies and our lands. Wherefore shall we die before thy eye, both we and our land? Buy us in our land for bread, and we in our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, and give us seed that we may live and not die, that the land be not desolate.
There you go. So America, the new Pharaoh, all right, Esau Edom, all right, let me stop saying America, because Esau Edom, man. America is just the face of the company. They're the world on the piece back. But it's really Esau Edom, you know, Esau period. All right? Specifically, fake Jews, has a word, Chaldeans, man. All right, they got the new Pharaoh. All right, the new king of Babylon. This is how they got power, man. All right, got y'all on this. I am have this money, which now how they gonna get control of you? They're gonna pull the plug on the money. They're gonna put the chip in you. That's how they got control over the world, man. According to back to the second chapter, according to Genesis, man. This is how they got control. Nothing new, man. Revelation 11 is a spiritual Egypt. You drinking that cup of that fornication, man. And that's going to be your destruction because you're trusting in East Egypt, man. So you're going to lean upon that broken reed. And the same instrument they use, you got that.
This is Isaiah 36:6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him.
So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. And the whole world is now trusting in Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, because the money fell the first time, meaning they got bulleted into getting on the dollar bill, so now they got their resources. All right. So now when this money really fails, when this global economic collapse happens, okay, that's going to happen. Pharaoh's going to provide you with a so-called answer, the RFID chip, and that work, and that's the same instrument they use to put the chip in you, the cannula, which is a reed. It's the same. That word means reed, and that's a mystery, man. Right there, there you go. And you know how you get this to the spirit of power of Yahweh Shai, they put on me and they teach these things to the rest of us. And we in turn teach you those things that we learn.
And in Revelation, you know, that word from Mark goes back to karama, you know, which means an incision. But you go into the root word karas, which means a stake. You know, so they put in a stake. When you put your stake in something, you saying, hey, this is mine, this belongs to me. And it said what? It said, verse 19, wherefore shall we die before thy eyes, both we and our land? Buy us in our land for bread, and we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh, man. And when money fail, that's what they gonna say, man. They gonna run to Esau, Edom, receive that chip, because you saying what? Exodus 21:6. I'm gonna start at 5. It says, if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. So when you receive that mark, man, you saying that, hey, you born that mark into you, that incision, which the law tells you not to make no prints or marks in the flesh, man. So you saying that you want Esau Edom to be your king, to be your master forever, man.
They tell you in all their movies and shit, it's the great war, good versus evil. And y'all finna choose y'all side, man. Y'all finna follow the devil. Y'all been deceived. I mean, Psalm 64:8. All right? They tell you these things all the time. But because you're an idiot, I'm keep it quite frank like that, man, because the prophets now have been telling us these things year after year after year for the longest, man, over 30 plus years, man. You know?
Hey, if I could say something, that decision right there, it's an individual decision, man. You know, that's how you know it can't. The mark of the beast can't be an embargo, man.
Right.
You know, because that would mean either the rulers of the nation are going to follow that judgment, or the whole nation is going to take the judgment, which that's cruel and unjust. It's got to be an individual decision, whether you're going to pick the side of Esau or you're going to pick the side of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. How the hell is going to be an embargo, man?
If you think it's an embargo, you're an idiot.
There you go.
Period. Because the mark of the beast allows you to buy and sell, and an embargo blocks trade between nations. So you're just an idiot.
Small angry.
Small angry.
Yeah.
Right.
So individual and nation.
Right.
In their hands.
But even what IUIC says, small nations and large nations, it still wouldn't make no sense, because the nations make decisions either by one person or a small collective group of people. So does that mean that they're only going to get the judgment? What about everybody else? You know, have they made the decision? That doesn't make any sense, man.
Can you put an embargo in your dominant hand?
Right. Or any hand at that.
I said dominant hand because that's what right hand means.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, that's how you know these other groups don't got the truth. Man.
They ain't got it.
They don't have the truth. Man.
It's
You ain't got it. Can we go back?
Malatama.
Emo Maranatha.
And Maranatha.
That's right.
And that's not good.
He's back in Revelation 17, and now verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, and a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of fornication. And yeah, you want filthiness of fornication. You want American aid. When Obama made gay fucking marriage legal in America, you wanted American aid to help a foreign country. You had to allow homosexuals to deal with each other. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon, the great mother of harlots and abomination of the earth. And the mother of harlots, I mean, simply put, Cain became the ruler of sin. The Lord told him, you should, I desire should continue, I should be the ruler of it. Esau Edom is the wicked man. He's the devil. He's the ruler of sin. He's the start of all this wickedness, man. That's why he embodies it all. That's why he is spiritual. He's a spiritual Sodom, spiritual Babylon. All these different nations, man. He mastered. He put all the powers in one. He put all. He worshipped every one of those gods. He don't have it now, man. He got the arch. He put all that bullshit up out there. Man. Molech owl, Dagon fish. The Pope got every goddamn idol woman, man.
Mystery Babylon.
Right.
Confusion, boy.
You ever saw that?
You will.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahweh Shai. And I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. All right, and that goes back to Daniel, man. They should make a war with the saints. Okay? And that's just what's happening here, man. We're dead. Revelation 11:8, man, we're dead here. All right? And the angel, and also Jacob's trouble is going to come to his place. An angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and the beast that carried her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not. All right, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition, which means destruction. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names are not written in the book of life, from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is.
Yep.
Who was ruling during this time period? The Roman Empire. All right, when you go to Revelation 12, it talks about the red dragon coming after the woman, which that one represents Israel. All right, and that red dragon is the Roman army. And the Roman army to this day is referred to as the great red dragon.
And it will soon will be not.
Exactly.
You know?
Come.
That was and not and yet is, man.
That's right. And that goes to Revelation, the 20th chapter. No, the 13th chapter, they got the deadly woman. All right, what came back? And here is the mind which hath the wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is.
5 are fallen, and 1 is. And those 5 that fell was Greece, Germania Minor, Germania Minor, Spain, and France. France, you know. But during that time, they were called what? Spain was Hispaniola, France was Gauls, you know. So during that, it's the same land masses, man. Different names.
Territories.
Yeah, territories, right? So those are the 5 that fell, and the 1 is was what? During the time of John, was Rome, man. Remember Rome?
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is. And the other is not yet come.
And the other is not yet come. And who was that? That was Great Britain, you know? Which is talking about Britain, England, you know? Which exactly. If you grab that in Jeremiah.
And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was and is not, even right now, this right here. And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, And it's of the 7
And
that
it's
going into perdition.
Yep, and it's of the 7 that goeth into perdition, man. So we read in Daniel 7, which, you know, Lord willing, you know, hey, we gonna jump back to this where it stems from. It said what? That little horn came out of what? You know? Well, out of those 10 horns. One of those 10 horns was what? England, man. And that was one of the heads. You know? Mm-hmm. And that's talking about America, man. That little horn. With that great mouth speaking great things, man.
And it's of the 7.
And it, that's right. That's right.
The Jeremiah.
And it said, and going to perdition, which talking about that destruction, which knows the second death, does indeed happen over here in America, man.
Yep.
Because this 8, which is of the 7, man, is the main destruction. So we got good Samaritans, man. A real good job.
Is Jeremiah 15, I'm sorry, at 10. And Chaldea should be a spoil. All that spoil her should be satisfied, say Yahweh, because you were glad, because you rejoiced. Oh, you destroyers of my heritage, because you are grown fat as a high fat grass, and blow as bull. Right? Who's grown fat like Esau, man? That was his blessing, man.
Back into the earth and do it ahead.
Right, man. And Chaldea was a fat battle, man. Because your mother should be sore confounded. She that bare you should be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nation should be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert.
Amen. And it says your mother shall be ashamed of you, man. Hey, so Great Britain, hey, England ain't gonna have your back, man. You know? And that goes back to a house divided, man. A house divided against itself cannot stand, because they all Edomites.
Really do good to you.
You know? Hey, you know? Hey, the Lord code.
Don't the scripture say in Revelations 18 that the 10 horns shall hate the whore? And isn't Great Britain part of one of those 10 horns?
Yeah.
God, it's out there on the 7.
But you know, so it's gonna Great Britain is gonna not only not have you back, but they're gonna be fighting against you eventually, man. And burn the whore, man, and burn her flesh with fire.
And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So the European nations, they not the face. The whore, America, is the face. That's the so-called king, man, but really, you know, it's a bunch of fucking, it's a council of bullshit. All right? But the other nations, man, gave their power over to this place, man. Whatever America want, which is whatever the Chaldeans want, the fake Jews want, that's what the EU agrees to. Just last year, Germany said they tired of just agreeing to whatever American agenda is, man. Yet they still do it.
So they allowed Trump whole ass to come and be pop all around. They push my man's up away.
Because that's the face
You know
of
what
the
I'm
country.
saying?
That's the face of the country. But they gave the power over to the beast, man.
Yep.
To that Roman system, man. And who's the face of it all? America. Because Rome was great based off their army. So who gets the who's the face? The army, America. I said the God of forces again that he should praise, man. He worship the God of forces, which is the God of armies. So America's the face. And that's how they push their agenda off to everybody anyway. So America is the king. Everybody's using what currency? The US dollar.
The hammer of the earth.
Right,
Yeah, Ghana, I was thinking.
America is Babylon. That's the place that got that cup. So everybody's getting on America's democracy.
And Isaiah 14 says, he who ruled the people in wrath and anger. How did they do it? With their army, with America, you know?
They gave it their power over when they set the EU up. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. All right? These shall make war with the Lamb, and that's the whole thing. These shall make war with the Lamb, and Lamb shall overcome them. The whole reason Reagan said it, man. Between all this one turmoil, we'll see when basically this alien, put air quotes, alien invasion comes. We'll see how divided you get. Bet you can get a link up together then and fight them aliens, man. That's the whole thing. Bet you link up then and fight them aliens. You know?
Daniel Day says that. They should fight against the Almighty. I forgot how to word it. Yeah.
It's 213 as well. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is the Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful.
Which brother just quoted, man. They should make war with the Lamb. You know? Hey, that's when Yahweh shall crack these skies, like the brother said in 2 Andrews 13. You know, Revelation 12 speaks about what? That war in heaven, man. You know, like, because it says they made war. Who was they? You know, that's the beast. That's the 10 horns. That's the EU and NATO. Yeah. And who's riding that beast? When you're on top of a beast and you're riding it, it means what? You're controlling it. Who's on that beast? That whore, man.
Yeah, Donald Trump was saying that he was saying you know, talking about China. He was like, yeah, China has been doing us in economically, but we have a lot of control over China. He was saying that.